Petals 102.3 FM. Also, sorry the first leg couldn't come to you earlier. Just stay with us during the second leg. We'll try to bring you all the stories as possible as we can. My name is Tony Adiwe. To be a part of this program, please join our platforms on Telegram. It's official Maestro Petals. And on WhatsApp, the number to add is 070-555-66624. You can listen in from anywhere around the world, either through our website. The address is www.petals1023.com. Or you can download the Petals FM app on your Play Store. To engage us on Twitter, it's official Maestro Petals. To find other videos of us on TikTok, Maestro Petals is the handle. And also on Facebook, it's Petals FM and also official Maestro Petals. I won't be doing this alone. I'm here with Adebisi Ogunjimi. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. It's good to be back here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for always being available. All right, yesterday, the ministerial nominees, the list was unveiled yesterday, and we had 28 nominees sent to the House of the Senate. And I think I'll be taking the names one by one, so you can say what you know about them.
What can we know about all of these people?
Not all of them.
I saw the list, and I think I know a few of them. That's just the truth. So I don't think I can really. Okay, maybe we just take a look on the few that I know.
I also know we'll still be discussing about them next week because their screening begins on Monday. So it's going to be a long period. Now, we have former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. Now, I know he was one-time Minister for Education, right?
I guess so. I think so too.
He was. So what do you think about him being on the list?
Well, it's not surprising that he's on the list. You know, we've seen several reports to that effect, and we even saw one that reported a face-off between the former governor or an alleged face-off between the former governor and President Bola Tinubu over the failure of the president to include him in the ministerial list. Now we have seen it. Is there? Is a part of the list, and I'm not surprised. It's a kind of a payback because the former governor really worked for the emergence of this administration. He went against his own party. He went against the candidate of his own party. He went against everything he thought was for his party, and he decided to go for his own belief. He decided to follow his own belief. He decided to work on his own conviction because he knew that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the candidate, was the right person to put as far as he was concerned. And he went all out. Not minding whose ox was going to be good. Remember the face-off between him, his party leadership, the candidates of his party, and he stood his ground. He led the G5 governors, and they decided whom they were all going to follow, and they had their departures. We had some who went with Obi, and we had some who went with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So it's I think it's expected really that Wike's interest would be reflected on that list. So it's not only his interest now, it's even him himself on that list.
Okay, from our own Oyo state, we have the former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Adebayo Adelab.
Yes, and I yesterday when I saw that story, a lot of reactions have been coming. We have Chief Akintola, SAN, who took his time to inform the ministerial nominee or designate, I think that's what they are called, ministerial designate now. Let's just use nominee to be safe. So he went out of his way to let him know that he's not. This nomination does not make him the head of APC in Oyo State, that Asiwaju President Tinubu actually consulted with Governor Makinde to you see that I really do not understand that powerfully, honestly. And I was going to ask yesterday that this inclusion of Chief Adelabu on that list, is it an APC interest or an Accord interest? Because as far as I know, Chief Adelabu was the gubernatorial candidate for the Accord Party in Oyo State in the last election. And on some of the platforms I am, there's a lot going on about the fact that he has not really come back to the APC. He's still a chieftain of the Accord Party in Oyo State. So now, Chief Adelabu on that list, whose interest is it covering? I'm sure it is not from the Testy faction. It is not from Chief Adini Akintola's faction. It's not from the Ajimobi's faction. That's the Nadeko. So I don't know, honestly, I don't know whose interest. It's probably Accord or Governor Makinde. And you know, Governor Makinde has an interest too. You know, because Governor Makinde supported Asiwaju to become the president. So I think this Chief Adelabu in this mix, I think it will be for Accord and Governor Makinde, since we are hearing that Governor Makinde was consulted by President Tinubu before he came to the conclusion of having Chief Adelabu on that list. I would go with Accord and GSM. Yes. So I think APC is still the faction, the fragmentation of APC in Oyo State has really affected this ministerial list. Of course, you know that this is not the only list that we are going to have, and I'm sure we are still going to have one or more ministerial posts coming to Oyo State. I think, I'm not so sure, and even if not ministerial now, there are posts that will still come to Oyo State. You understand? So we have all the interest just hanging there, you know, waiting to be compensated.
Now this surprised me a little bit, and that's former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai. Although I know before the elections he was speaking in favor of the president about cabals and all of that in the Aso Rock or around the election period. And then after the election, we had some videos that, although were in a Hausa language, but were sort of controversial about him. But seeing him on the list, what's your...
He has always been a very controversial person. His Excellency, former Governor Nasir El-Rufai, has always been in the news for one controversy or the other, because I think people see him more of an ethnic person. He defends his ethnicity always and more. Remember when we had the Emefiele issue, the Naira policy, he went and he told his people to keep spending the old Naira note. He actually spoke in their language and he told them not to bother themselves, that they should keep spending the money, that they will collect it from them, and when the new government is in power, they are going to change it and they are going to make them continue spending the money. So he's always been a very, very ethnic person. And you ask me, I'm not surprised. I'm really, really not surprised. He worked for Asiwaju. He supported Asiwaju. He himself, Ganduje. I don't know what we are still going to get for Ganduje.
I'm coming to
yes. So, because see, I try as much as possible to be fair. Yes, we know that these people are we are just recycling these people. I have said it several times that why can't we just look outside of these people? Is it not possible for us to get new people, new blood, new brains that can work? And this is one thing that they have always praised Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for, that he's a man that identifies talent and builds talent. But this one, I honestly cannot see him as identifying anything or even building anything, because these people are recycled in age. They yes, they are experienced, they have the probably needed experience, but honestly, we can look out of these people to get equally or if not more qualified and more effective people that can work in this cabinet with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And again, we would want to say that he would like to work, or he would love to work with people that he knows, people he had probably worked with at one point or the other. So he's going to go for people that he knows. So that might be why he's going for all these people. I told you that I'm not familiar with all the names on the list, so I don't even know if there are new people on that list. I saw there is Wale Edu. I've been hearing that name, so it's not new. Dele Alake there is not new, and Governor Yesom Wike is not new. Erufai is not new. I have you seen Oyetola on that list? Did you see Rizola? Because the list I saw yesterday, Rizola was not on that list, but I've been saying his name on the news. I've been saying so. Rizola on that list is not new. Quite a number of them. Better Edu is there. She's not new. So we just, I think we are just recycling, and this is what we have been doing, and this is what Nigerians have been complaining about. We should look outside. Let's look out of these people and let them even nominate new names. Do you understand? They can nominate new people. That was what I meant when I said the interest of Governor Nyesom Wike. We expected that it would be protected, but now, not just his interest, it is himself. So someone just left governor. He just left the post of a governor where he spent 8 years.
They don't have a nominee
yet. So I told you, I didn't see Oyetola on that list. There's Lateef Fagbemi from Kwara State. That name is also popular. SAN. He's been there. He's been around. People know him a lot, and so he's not a new name on the list.
And then David Umahi, former governor of Ebonyi State, who is currently a senator.
So it's honestly, I think we just have to make do with what we have. It's not really the best, as far as I'm concerned. I won't say I wasn't expecting it. We knew that there's no way we're not going to have some of these people, because honestly, they are just going to be compensating themselves, and this is what they do. You have worked for me, and the former president said it, that those who worked for him was going to ensure that they had something good, and I think he did. So this is what is playing out again, but that does not, and we should be careful to also say this, that does not mean that these people cannot perform. You understand? It does not erase the fact that they probably somewhere have the capacity to perform. They have not been assigned portfolios yet. After the screening, they would be assigned portfolios. Then we are going to again begin to talk about their qualification for such posts, such qualification, or such portfolios that have been assigned them. Most importantly, I'm going to be looking out for the Minister of Finance, Education, Health, and Power. Yes, and works too. Petroleum too. Yes, yes. So petroleum, education, health, power, and which other one? Finance. Those 5 or 6 portfolios will really catch my interest. So I want to know who is going to be there.
Do you think President Tinubu is going to include younger folks a lot? Because Better Edu is 36, and then I remembered earlier during the when he appointed advisors, there were also younger folks there, not as young as I am, but you understand what I mean. Do you think he's going to be engaging those within the 30 to 40 years range in his government?
Well, you said they are not as young as you are. We don't know your age, so we don't know if they are. We don't know if they are as young as you are. But seriously, now, if we are going to go by the antecedent of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then we should expect that he would be working more with younger people. So I'm still expecting that he would choose. We really do not know the ages of all these people. I told you I don't know most of them on that list, so I can't tell you their ages. We only have an idea of the governors, the former governors that are there, and the senators there. So we don't really know. You have said better ages like 30 something. So I'm sure we have people like that who are probably under 40 also, just in their early 40s. And subsequent list and subsequent posts, I'm sure we're going to have. I told you there are, there are thousands of posts. Let me be safe to say thousands of posts at the presidential level. So you are going to still have a lot of them. And I believe that even women inclusion, groups have been advocating for the inclusion of women and youths. And I want to really, really expect that also. I want to have more women given responsibilities. I want to have more youths given responsibilities. These ones that have been chosen, I'm sure they are going to hold key ministries. Yes, I want to believe that they are going to hold key ministries. So we are going to have, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to have Minister of State also. Remember, Festus Keyamo had said that it's unconstitutional, that the post of the Minister of State is unconstitutional. But we don't know if, because that was the post he held himself. That was the post Festus Keyamo held himself, Minister of State for Labour.
Yes.
That was his post. So let's see if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu goes with the Minister of State thing. He's probably going to have more younger people being ministers of state. And don't forget, we've had presidents making themselves Minister of Petroleum. Even in Osun State, we have Governor Adeleke. Yes, he is Commissioner for Works, and his 60-year-old Deputy Governor is the Commissioner for Sports. Yes, you laugh here. He's the Commissioner for Sport. But honestly, what came to my mind was, you don't really, he's not going to be running around.
True.
You don't need to run around to be the minister or the commissioner for sports, really. You are going to do more of paperwork, you are going to do more of administrative works, and you are going to do more of organizing that ministry. So if you are going to have people in sports, if you need people that are agile, then you can actually get people that have the strength, the physical strength to do whatever responsibilities he wants them to carry out, really. So it doesn't really bother me that a 60-year-old man is a Minister of Sports in Osun State. And Governor Adeleke is a Commissioner for Works. And that's a huge ministry too. So let's see if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will make himself the Minister of Petroleum also.
Recall that during the previous administration, we had two different ministers saying they didn't know about their ministries, but were just appointed and they went to do the work. Do you think such would repeat or not repeat itself during this administration?
We might not be able to rule that out. They have not been assigned portfolios. So you don't know who's going to get what. And honestly, I might not be surprised if we have, though it's not going to sound well, because what a lot of people say about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is his ability to identify the right person to put in the right place. The round peg in the round hole. That is one characteristic of the president that a lot of people have mouthed. So it's going to really, really be disappointing if we have a minister that comes like Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola told us then, that he didn't know much about the Ministry of Interior more than he read in papers. That he was going to rely on the people in the ministry to help him. And you saw, we all saw what came out of that ministry during the last administration. We saw the amount of jail breaks that we had. We saw how porous our correctional centers became. You get my point. Up till now, hundreds of those who escaped at Kuje prison, they are still at large. and they are back in the society, or even some of them outside of the country already. So we are saying we are still going to get them back. How? So I think competence, and don't forget President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that he's going to focus more on competence than national inclusion or whatever it's called. So we are going to expect that he's going to put the right person to man these ministries according to their capacity. He knows their capacity. That's why he has chosen them. And he had taken his time, really. He took his time. He took his time. He took his time. And before he became president, he knew he wanted to go for presidency. I'm sure he would have his eyes on some people that he could work with and in whatever capacity. So he had taken his time to choose them. We want to have people that know about the ministries that they are going to be giving. We do not want to have a repeat of when Rauf Aregbesola in the Interior Ministry. Honestly, it didn't sound well. I can't remember the second minister that said similar thing. I can't readily recall him now. Adamu. And you saw what played out in that ministry also. The students' union went to him to appeal to him. They went in protest when the ASU strike was on. 8-month ASU strike was on. They went to see him. They sat down. He sat down. He listened to them. And after all said and done, you remember what he said? He said they have spoken that they should go and tell the right people that it's not him they should tell that to, and the ones that he thinks is the one that they should tell it to. He has heard them, and he would relay their message to the appropriate authority, and he left those students there, and he stood up and went. And he stood up, he left them there. So that was Adamu addressing the student union members who came to him in protest of ongoing ASU strike at the time. So these two ministries, we saw how they played out. We saw how their helmsmen played out in the last administration. So we are not expecting a repeat of that.
Now, King DR sent pictures of the profile of the nominees to the Telegram platform. So those who are interested can go check them out. Now, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila said that the president intends to separate portfolios or restructure the ministries in such a way you might be hearing of new ministries that were not stand-alone ministries before. So the process continues and possibly would have, say, 13 to 11 names more.
Well, it's not. I think it's what they all do. Even in Oyo State, we had the governor breaking out the Ministry of Culture and Tourism away from Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism. So we have a Ministry of Information as a standalone now, and we have a Ministry of Culture and Tourism. We have Dr. Wasiu Olatubosu now as the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, and we have Mr. Dr. Eladi as the Commissioner for Information. You understand? So we expect that. I think power and works and what's that third one under power works? That and housing. Yes, it's going to. Now we have power as a standalone already. So housing and works still together. We might still see that we might still see a further breakdown of works and housing because these two are huge. They are huge ministries, and you saw we saw Raji Fashola. We saw him during the first term. You saw his grey hair after the first term with the 3 ministries under his care. So I think that was why it was we had that split. So power was taken away from him, and honestly, we didn't hear much about him. In the last 4 years, did you hear much about Raji Fashola? So because I think he had lesser works to do and he could concentrate more. So we are going to have more splits really. So we are going to have more names. I agree.
Okay. Also, the president did not attach portfolios to the names of the nominees so that the Senate would be able to give more room or have more room to for the reviews of the names and the nomination.
Yeah, that's I think it's a good one. If the Senate will have to be the one to look into their credentials and assign these portfolios to them according to their qualifications and according to the experiences. See, honestly, these qualifications to me, they might not really count eventually, because we can say that we know how some of these people got these certificates. Some are even honorary. So you on that's just it. So I think they should look more in the direction of their competence, their experiences, and those of them that have served before. They should see how well they performed in their states. These former governors, their states should be watched. Let's see where I'm not saying they should look at everything holistically. They can actually look at the sectors that thrived more in their states while they were governors. So that could really point us in the direction of their strength. If you had a governor that had huge success in education, that should tell you something, that this person is interested in education and he will do more in that light. If you had a governor that succeeded more in the provision of security in his state, if his economy prospered, then they should find a way around it and just give them these responsibilities around where they have succeeded as governors or as leaders or as serving whatever it was they served before, in what capacity.
Before we move on from this topic, now Mr. Dele Alake, who is the special advisor to the president on big communications and strategies, is he going to, is that portfolio going to be taken away from him and he's going to prepare?
Yes, if he's going to be minister, don't forget our right honorable speaker, former speaker too, Bajabi Amila, when this was the question we asked, and after several denials, then they confirmed that he was chief of staff, and he had to say bye bye at the House of Reps, and he left. And so it's going to Alake is going to just be promoted. He's now a minister. He's a minister nominee, so that post will probably go to another person or be scrapped outrightly if there's a better post that is handling same responsibility. You understand?
Okay. Now we are moving on to the APC. The Northwest, the national vice chairman of the Northwest of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Saliu Lukman, resigned on Wednesday in protest against the recent turn of events in the party, saying that the imposition of former governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, as national chairman will lead to the damnation of the party.
Has he been confirmed?
Has he been confirmed
that he is the chairman of the party?
No, he resigned as a vice national chairman.
No, has Ganduje been confirmed? No. So I think this will just lay credence to that speculation, because if he wasn't sure that Ganduje will be the chairman of that party, he would not resign. And again, another giveaway will be the absence of Ganduje's name on this ministerial nominee list. You understand? So it's looking like it, but we can't confirm it yet. But if he's resigning, well, I probably would have done same if I had my convictions, because we also sitting here, we know that Governor Ganduje is not the best that the APC can have as chairman at this time. Governor Ganduje is a man that has this dollar case hanging around him that is not going anywhere soon. Yes. And I think the current governor of the state is intending to even pick up that case against him. So I honestly don't see him as good for that post of the ruling party, the chairman of the ruling party. But the last one that left, what about him also? We had monkeys swallowing money on his farm. So I think it's just this money issue is a luggage, a baggage that our leaders will just always have around them. And we really cannot do anything about it. Look at our Senate president also. Akpabio, under him, in NDDC, we had the Bonday senator, please, distinguished off the mic. That was his drama. He was the lead, he was the chairman of NDDC when Bonday came and passed out when he was when he was asked how money disappeared. So he passed out. The questions were so tough on him, and he lost his balance and passed out. And then they advised themselves to off their mic because they were probably saying too much and revealing too much for Nigerians, and we didn't really need to hear that. I don't know, Tony, if you saw this Akpabio's video about letting the poor breathe.
Let the poor.
You saw it. You saw it. And people have really come for him.
Yes.
Concerning that video. Well, it wasn't in a very good light. Really, it wasn't. But I'll cut him some slack. I think they just felt it was the right word for them to use to identify. You understand?
You know, actually excuse them. I thought they found it funny because people on the social media had made it.
That's it. So I think they felt it was what will resonate more with the people. And the president had said it. A lot of people are saying it. We are saying it amongst ourselves. We're even saying it to ourselves. I'm going to allow myself to breathe. I won't kill myself. You understand? So I think it was the best they could come up with at the time so that people would really understand that they were actually talking about us. They were actually planning to allow us to breathe. So I'll pass that.
All right. Now that's Lukman Saliu. His resignation letter has not been accepted by his colleagues. But should Dr. Ganduje not be appointed as the chairman of the APC? Would his protest not be in vain? Or would it have amounted to something?
That was why I asked if he had been confirmed. And I would go with the fact that being an insider, he probably knows that there's no going back. You understand? They are privy to a lot of things we are not. So they know. It must have been a part of a meeting that has concluded on that decision. So that was why he felt, okay, if this is the way you want to go, I think I'm going to just beat a retreat from here.
All right. Kaduna State Governor, Senator Basani, on Thursday vowed to cut down on the cost of governance and fancy lifestyle to overcome economic and security challenges oppressing the state. Furthermore, the governor directed the newly inaugurated commissioner in the state to use their old vehicles as official cars. He noted that the period was an emergency one which necessitated tough decisions to survive. What's your take generally? Express yourself.
Honestly, I will express myself. I am here to express myself, and I will express myself. Why should they allow themselves to go away with official cars? Why? See, this idea of you have been using your own car, we've been using, that was what the governor of, the former governor, was in Nasarawa now. I keep mixing. I think it was, let's not just, yes. That governor that said that because they had been using their old cars all through their administration, the time in power, then they decided to compensate themselves by buying cars worth, you'll get me that figure. Let me not use a wrong figure now. So they decided to buy themselves, the governor, his wife, the deputy governor, and his wife. They decided to compensate themselves at the just few weeks or few days to the termination of that administration. They decided to buy new cars because, yes, of Taraba. So He decided
It's
to
Taraba
buy.
State.
He decided to buy. I want the figure, please. You can get us that figure. So he chose to buy that car at the twilight of his administration because he had been using. They have been using their own vehicles
3 billion naira.
to run. Yes, 3 billion naira to buy new cars for themselves, and they will come and tell us that we have to be patient with government. We have to sacrifice. Nigerians should learn to sacrifice. I think anyone that asks us to sacrifice again in this country, we should give that person a piece of our minds. Because except you want us to kuku end up as sacrifices, what else do you want Nigerians to sacrifice? We have said it severally, cut down on the cost of governance. No. The Senate will decide how much they are going to earn. They will decide how much they are going to spend to buy televisions for themselves. You saw Oshiomole, who came to the house and said, who spoke on Channels Television and said that they had, it was actually, no, not even that. It was actually trying to defend the fact that they appropriated money for themselves to buy new stuff. So I think fortunately for Nigerians, it was a slip on his part. He said that because they did not appropriate that money for their personal use, that they had to appropriate the money to buy stuff in the offices because the past senators have taken, you understand? So in defending this current house, he discredited the past one, and it was an issue for him on the floor of the Senate because some of those in the past, in the 9th Assembly, are still here in the 10th Assembly. So they felt so that it spited them, that they felt hurt by what Oshiomhole said. They said he's a new senator. He shouldn't be saying that they took stuff that they didn't take, that they did not. They had to go for a closed door meeting. They asked for a closed door meeting for him. Then he had to just go and explain himself that he didn't say that they carted away the television and the stuff, the furniture in the Senate. That he was just trying to explain that they did not appropriate the money for their personal use. That is for them to buy gadgets, electronics and furniture for their offices and probably their homes. And that is what we are saying. Why do we keep buying these things every 4 years? Why? Why? Do you buy chairs in your house every 4 years? Do you buy TVs in your house every 4 years? Except you want to add, or if it has spoiled. And if it is well used, what will spoil your TV in 4 years? What will spoil your chairs, your furniture in 4 years? And what could even spoil your vehicle? Because it's an official vehicle. It is an official vehicle, and it's not a 1 naira. It's not an ordinary vehicle that the ordinary Nigerians use. They buy them the latest. Now they are buying the 2023 edition of whatever they are buying. That's what they buy for themselves. They buy the latest. They order for it and they buy it. It is the latest they are buying. So what spoils it in the next 2-3 years? And it's good that this governor thinks he should cut down on these prices. But I honestly don't agree with them using their own vehicles.
No, the old vehicles
in the ministries, yes. I agree with that. And they should stop people that are leaving offices from taking these cars with them. These cars are not they are not their personal property. They don't belong to them. It is an official vehicle. That is it. When you are going, you drop your keys. Drop it and go. Drop everything that belongs to the ministry that is in your care. Drop it and leave. I've seen people with integrity when they know that they are probably going to get sacked at the office today. They will call their drivers. Or if they knew they were going to resign at the office today, they will get their drivers to bring their own car. They will drop the key and they will go in their own car. That is the noble thing to do. But what do we see? You see them going with pickups. They go with several those Hilux, those white pickups, they go with them. They go with cars. You see Toyota, you see Jeeps. They go with everything that they are supposed to use in that office, leaving it empty and bare for the next commissioner and the next minister. It should not be. And the funniest part of it is that they even auction it for themselves. They sell it for themselves at ridiculous prices. They sell it off.
Also, the governor set up a trust fund to cater to the poor and vulnerable people in the state to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy, and also promising to donate 50% of his salary into the fund. Do you see possibly other governors in other states following suit? Maybe not 50%, but at least.
This governor too is still promising. We have not, we are tired of promissory notes. Yes, they promise a lot. He's just coming in, and he's probably, this is his first time. He's going to do everything to get a second term. Yes, so I think the people should expect that he would make do with these promises. He will fulfill these promises because he's going to be looking for a second term. But for second term governors, well, I don't know if we can expect similar things from them, but it will be good. It will be a good thing to do if we think of creative ways of mitigating the effect of the removal of subsidy. Some have increased the salaries of their workers. I think Edo State now pays 40,000 naira
as minimum wage.
Yes.
Yes. Then I heard Ogun State was going to give 10,000 naira
to workers,
3 months.
Families or workers. I think I saw one, probably not Ogun State. I think one was going to pay 10,000 also to workers. So it's a good thing.
I'd left the ministerial nominees, but I saw something just now. So the son of former Governor Erufai reposted his father's picture and said, "Ready, steady, go." Then someone replied, "On our family just come this life to chop government money. Congratulations to all of you." And then Bashir Erufai replied, "And your family came to this life to protest. Congratulations to all involved. We all have to play our part."
Well, he's eating. And when you are eating, I'm even surprised that he's talking. He lacks table manners. When you are eating, you don't talk. His family has come to... We see, the man that tweeted is not wrong. We are the ones feeding them. Some people, since the beginning of this country, or maybe since the beginning of our democracy in this country, some people have been there. David Mark was in the Senate for 16 years. I think Bajabi Amila would have done 16 years now if he didn't go as for chief of staff. Yes, that was his fourth. That was his fourth term.
That's 16. Okay,
yes, he would have. Yes, if he had been allowed to finish this. But now he's even finishing on a better note. He's going to be chief of staff. He's chief of staff, and that's probably for the next 4 or 8 years. You understand? So some people have just they've had it so good, and I don't blame Bashir El-Rufai. When you have been exposed to softness of butter all your life, you know some people can't even talk loud. When they are talking, they are not unlike us that we have the power to shout. Even if I talk from here, you can hear from the gate without using microphone. Some people don't even have that capacity because their lives have been soft from childhood. Even before they were pregnant with them, softness has been there waiting for them. So he can talk like that. Yes, if my father was on this list to Tony, of course, I might not even be here talking. I might not be here talking now. I'm probably on the Twitter. I will be on social media preparing for my new life. Yes, because it's a new life for them. It's a new life for them, Tony. So let's leave Bashir. Bashir is living the life.
That's it. A former senator representing Bauchi Central District, Adaombo Kachawa, on Thursday accused the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the Department of State Services of colluding with his political enemies to harass him. He stated this in a suit he filed against the Attorney General of the Federation, the Clerk of the National Assembly, and others at the Federal High Court. He said, I think it's related to, because there's a whole lot. Okay. Yes, it is. He had, during the session, said that he influenced the decision of his wife during her tenure as president of the appellate court. At Thursday's proceeding, he cited a letter of invitation sent to him by the ICPC over his comment on the floor of the Senate on June 15, which many had misinterpreted to mean that he had influenced his wife's decisions during her tenure as president of the Court of Appeal.
How did we misinterpret? No, now, how did we misinterpret what he said? He said his wife, because he was appraising his wife, he was eulogizing his wife. So he said his wife is a very good woman, and he cannot count on how many occasions he has had to use his influence on her to help his colleagues. That was what he said. So what is the misinterpretation there? And that much was what we said too. So whatever way he had used his wife's influence, and what influence would a judge have if it's not going to be on cases? Did he help them with money? Did she help them with money? She helped in her capacity as a judge. And he didn't cite any example. We did not cite any example. We only explained what he said. And the Senate did not allow him to speak further. The then Senate President, Akman, he said it's okay that he should not go further. They offed the mic again. On that one, they offed the mic again. And we helped them to loud it because we heard it clearly. So we just amplified it for them. So we didn't misinterpret anything he said. But now that he said the ICPC had invited him, well, ICPC is responsible for corrupt practices and other related offences. It's not the EFCC. So other related offences might be where it falls. So let's see. Let's see what they will question him on. He said they have invited him. We will hear when he's back. But that we misinterpreted is what I will not agree with. We did not misinterpret him. He said what he said. Journalists reported what he said. And he did not deny that I said it. He didn't deny it. That was what he said on the floor. It was the valedictory service or valedictory session that they had. He was happy. And he eulogized his wife, and he was proud of himself and proud of how he had been able to influence his wife, to use her influence to help some of his colleagues in the Senate. So there is no misinterpretation there.
On Thursday, the president pleaded with Nigerians to understand more and persevere more. In his words, you have endured. You just need to persevere a little bit more. It is not going to be easy to make the necessary changes. I plead your understanding that the economic reforms are very slow sometimes. I can assure you that I understand your pains and the pains of your uncles, brothers, and your moms. I feel it. Now, this he was saying to a delegation of youth leaders from across the 36 states. It is not easy to get out a monster of over 40 years that is called subsidy. For a few elites fleeing Nigeria, it is unacceptable and will never be acceptable to us. Things that we cannot afford, things we cannot engage in, we cannot afford the subsidy. It is clear. It is made for just a few elites. It is not beneficial to the generality and the greatest number of people in the country. So now, we need to keep persevering just for a little while.
Did they say for how long?
Okay. A little bit more.
It doesn't even have to tell us to keep persevering. We have told ourselves. Nigerians, see, how many people do you see complaining about this fuel price anymore?
People have moved on.
We have moved on from it. We have moved on from the fuel price. We have moved on from the increase in prices of foodstuff. People have decided to cut their coats according to the materials available, not even their sizes. So if you are a size 10, if the material available can only show size 7, you change your style. If you wanted baggy before, you can make you leggings, you go with it. If it's cropped up, you can make. If it's short, you can make. If it is a bow that you can make, just put it on your head. Or if it is a handband or even earring that you can make with that material. I have this material. Tony, we have moved on. We have moved on. But what we are asking them now is what plans did they have on ground before removing this subsidy? Because by now, they knew they were going to remove this subsidy. This thing is taking too long. This plan that they said they have or they had is taking too long for them to execute it. Is it until Nigerians start dying? Because this persevere. Even perseverance, it has limits. It has limits. People will just stop listening to them and we'll just go on with our lives. We'll go on with our lives and we'll go on with the little palliatives that we can get amongst ourselves. How can you, as a government, how can you be taking this long in your plans? You are planning. You first came with 8,000 naira. We told you how ridiculous that was. As if people weren't thinking when they came up with that idea. So we told you, you took it back, that you have been given how did Mr. Alake coin this word now? That they have been instructed to explain the gamut, the old gamut. I don't
English hard.
I don't understand. What was that? Why the use of that word in that sentence really pissed me off. We are telling Nigerians that are queuing, that are sweating, that are falling over themselves, crying to buy fuel. You are telling them that the president has told you to go and explain the whole gamut of subsidy to Nigerians and explain everything to them and whatever palliative you are going to give. We are not given to all these words. These are words. They are mere words. They are English. They are expressions. It doesn't change the price of rice in the market. It doesn't put money in our pockets. The president has said we should persevere. Bayo Ononuga has begged Nigerians to be patient. We are patient. We are not on the street. We are not up in arms. As a matter of fact, we are too patient. So we are keeping quiet. We are here, waiting for your plan, waiting for you to start executing these plans. So we are waiting, Tony. We are still waiting. We are persevering.
Now, the Super Falcons yesterday won their match against Australia. Yeah. Now, Asisat Ushwala, when she won, she pulled off her jersey and ran to the sideline to celebrate her goal with her teammates, and she was given a yellow card in the process. Now, there have been mixed reactions about that. There have been mixed reactions about her pulling her top, and some say they hope she doesn't get another yellow card and miss another match. Another said An icon is an icon. Oshoala's shirtless celebration will be picked up by every media from now till the end of the World Cup. When you are big, you are just that big. And all of that, and all of that, and all of that. Do you think she should have pulled her shirt? Or do you just think it was adrenaline rush winning the goal, the last goal for her team?
If you saw that match yesterday, you would know that the girls had every cause to celebrate. I was in the office yesterday. My husband was watching the match and he was calling me and feeding me back that they were just doing ojoro for these girls. That they are winning, they are equalizing. Was just God that gave it to them. And I saw them. They were celebrating. They were dancing to excuse me, Wasiu Ayinde's you understand? So I think people really identified with the fact that it was just providence or God on their part that made them win that game of yesterday against all odds and against all Ojoros done against them. Now to Oshoala, I didn't see it, so I don't know what she had on that. Did you see the picture?
Yeah, she was wearing a sports
Was she
bra.
naked?
No.
Well, if there is no rule against this, it's not the first time we are seeing sportsmen and women like this. I don't have any problem with it. It's a way of celebration, and we've seen men pull their shirts too. So why? What was the big deal here? And she's decent. She's very decent. So what's the problem?
With nice abs.
Yes, beautiful girl there. See her, she's an icon. It's beautiful. It's an expression. Adrenaline or no adrenaline, this is an expression of victory, an expression of joy and happiness. So if there is no rule against, if she has not flouted any rule, I don't see anything wrong in what she did.
Now, we're waiting for the ruling of the election petitions tribunal. Now, someone tweeted saying that let me read it the way he tweeted it. When tribunal announce say Peter Obi don win even before the case reach Supreme Court, wetin you go do? He said, for me, I go naked waka from one end of Bodilon to Falomo. Why is, I mean, this is somebody's grandfather saying he's going to get naked. And I saw a comment. Someone said that it's because he knows it's not going to happen. That's why he says.
He knows what is not going to happen. I missed that, sorry.
Should I read?
Yes, please. What will make him walk naked?
When tribunal announce say Peter Obi don't win, even before the case reach Supreme Court, for me, I go naked waka from one end of Bodilon to go Falomo.
Okay, in protest or in happiness?
In happiness.
Okay. Well, let's it will be his right. But if the police now says that he is constituting nuisance, then they can arrest him. Somebody's grandfather, somebody's father, somebody's husband is still himself. You understand? He owns himself. If it does not constitute any nuisance around the places he wants to walk naked, then he should be left to do it. He wants to celebrate. He wants to celebrate his victory. We have seen people who trekked from one place to another. They were not naked though, but they trekked. They were not naked. You understand? That's their own way of celebrating. So if he wants to celebrate like that, I have said, if he does not flout any rule, you can go ahead.
On police, the police has said they will investigate and possibly prosecute skit maker Kit Abiola. They said that, let me just read part of the statement. In as much as the law grants Nigerians the right to enjoy their fundamental human rights, the same law prohibits an individual under whatever guise from ruining or rubbishing the police institution or grossly violating its provision with regards to the use of uniform. We therefore vehemently condemn the contemptuous act displayed by comedian Abdulgafar Abiola, popularly known as Cute Abiola, in two recent skits posted on his social media handles on 20th and 24th July. The skits in question show a rightly disrespectful and derogatory portrayal of the police uniform. Now, we've seen people wear police uniform to maybe act out something they see. And as I saw clips of the videos, like it was stopping a driver, and I think he was trying to extort the person. And then the person said, "Oh, that I think the person gave him the money, and then told him that he was going to die or something." And then he started to plead to give it back and all of that. And we've seen different things in movies portraying policemen extorting people. I think there's going to be a lot of people that will be prosecuted if.
Yes, we have seen it. We have seen the use of police uniforms in movies. But I want to believe that those who use police uniforms in movies, sometimes they even use police stations, they use police vehicles. I'm sure they get a kind of permit to do these things, to use these things. You understand? I've always had problems with skit makers making use of our uniforms. I don't know if you remember that Q Tabiola had a similar problem with the Navy. Because he was a naval officer. And I remember very well that I had a problem with him doing that skit, even as a naval officer.
He wasn't a skit.
He took whatever it was, I did not. It doesn't sit down well with me that you, as a naval officer, will involve yourself in this skit making. It does not sit well with me. I don't know if you remember these two female police women that were they dismissed or
challenge?
Were they dismissed?
Yes.
Or probably they were just punished or something, sanctioned. I don't know. There was this one that they were police officers, women. Yes, I think they dressed down in one picture or one video, and the police saw it, and I think they were sanctioned. See, I do not like it. I personally don't agree to you using our uniform. See, if you are a police officer, if you are a naval officer, you should be a serious-minded person. You are not expected to be a joker. You are not expected to be a comedian. How would you feel if you see first PRO Olumuyiwa Adejobi now? If you now see him, he has a TikTok account and he's doing comedy with. How would you feel? Now, if he now starts working in his capacity as a police officer, how would you regard him? How? He got into trouble. This same Q Tabiola got into trouble with the Navy. They took him away for some days. And his colleagues went AWOL saying he had been kidnapped. I said, okay, well, maybe I just felt bad for his wife. You understand? And I think he's no longer a Navy now. He has left. He resigned. Now he has resigned. And the next thing this same person thinks he can do is to disparage and disrespect the police institution. Like, you don't do that. We have to start respecting ourselves. We have to start respecting these institutions. If you are going to use all these things, I think there should be some form of permit. They should be getting permits. They should be applying for permit and get it. If you want to use police uniform, if you want to use doctor's uniform, if you want to portray yourself as a doctor, you want to portray yourself as a judge, you should get permit to do these things. You can't just go out there and keep misinforming people and disorganizing the whole society. I don't understand. So you now wear a police uniform and you start doing kids, you are taking bribe, and you know that this same bribe is what we are trying to fight against. I don't understand it. I honestly don't understand it. If they want to prosecute him, they should go ahead and prosecute him and every other person that does it, not him alone. then I think a sanction or a circular should be passed, a law should be promulgated, and they should just know that it is an offense. It is an offense for you to use police uniform in your skit. It's an offense.
Now we have another person who has broken a Guinness World Record in Nigeria. This
Are
is
you
not
not tired?
another aton. This is not another aton. Nigeria's beer recipe queen becomes the first baker in the world to bake and teach 56 amazing recipes in 24 hours. Now this is different from all the cry-a-thons, the whip-a-thons, and all of that atons.
Sure, you know your brother that did cry-a-thon. He said he went blind partially.
My brother.
Okay. He said he went blind partially in his attempt to break the world record. So this one has broken the record. She had taught recipes. Abi, congratulations to her, Tony.
A man identified as Mohammed Faworoja has met his untimely death.
Mohammed what?
Faworoja.
Yeah, it's Faworoja now.
Okay, Faworoja. And I was sweating just now. Faworoja has met his untimely death in Ilorin, Kwara State while running away from a dog. It was gathered on Thursday. The incident occurred around somewhere. The source said that a dog, a German Shepherd, got loose and chased the deceased to hit his chest on an electric pole. He died of internal bleeding, and the canned fish, which he went to buy, dropped and was seen beside the pole at the scene of the incident.
Who owns the dog? Is it a stray dog?
No.
Or a street dog?
The dog got loose. That means it's not a
street dog. It just from...
The owner of the dog has been arrested and the matter is being investigated.
That's a very sad one. It is a sad one because the owner did not leave the dog unleashed. He probably got loose and the gate probably was opened and he got out. And well, it's just a sad one, really. It's a sad one because I honestly don't do dogs too. I don't like dogs.
I don't do people's dogs.
Yes, even see the closest I've had in dog is a Lhasa dog, and you know that one, Lhasa dog I can handle. But anything bigger than that, my husband is a dog person. I told him, if you want to get, if you like, I don't have any problem with. Just don't involve me. Because the stories I hear, I can't just imagine it. Dogs even maul their owners. I don't know if you saw one video recently of this man that was mauled by his own 3 dogs. 3 dogs. He was trying to feed them or something. They just turned on him and the 3 of them, I don't know, he died. So I don't like dogs like that. I don't like, especially all these bull mastiffs or and there's this one, I think pit bull that gets locked.
Yes.
That one is even another case entirely. Once it bites you like this, it will lock
until the teeth makes contact.
Yeah,
until the upper and the lower make contact.
So that means that he has made a hole on your body, on the skin. I honestly, I don't. It brings me
back to dog owners who say, "Come in, it doesn't bite."
No, those ones are another species. They are another species from their dogs. Come in, it doesn't bite. Am I a fool? Are you whining me?
Did he tell you who bites you?
Don't tell me it will. Don't call. Please come in. Don't worry. It doesn't bite. It won't bite you. Don't worry. Let me be the one to determine if it will bite me or not. You just go and chain it first. Get it out of my sight. So you tell me they won't bite me. And the dog will be coming close to you and they will tell you, don't run.
Don't bite me.
Am I explaining?
Alright, we'll open the phone lines now, and if we still have time, we'll discuss the coup that happened in Nigeria Republic.
Oops, yeah.
Alright, The lines to call 08107812544 09153029992. Please do not forget to turn down the volume of your radio set before you call in. Hello, good morning. 08107. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
Chidi.
From Mokola. Okay, Mokola this morning.
Right. Now, one thing is, the president and the executive, they are dwelling too much on one thing. Thing on the universal subsidy, which I don't think is relative now. People are affected stuff that they remove. What people need now is that Madame Obajo is the plan. What plan do you have for us? The short-term plan, the mid-term plan, and the long-term plan. This is too much now. Any plan you have had in mind, suppose you have come up by now. So bring out something, let people see, and you are working towards it. The short-term plan is about food. Maybe they will reduce the import duty on some food products, maybe flour, rice, and all that. Because out there, anyway. Then secondly, on the ministerial nominee, we are not about ministers anyway. People will come and go. Ministers are there, and kind of people's attention. But one thing is, people recklessness must stop in this country. The financial sector, that's what I mean anyway. The money and the cars they buy for legislators and executive members should stop. I think it should not stop. So that's just it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jide. We're still taking more calls. 0915302. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning. The line is not good. Can you please cut and call us back? Thank you.
08107812544 09153029992. I hope the network providers work well for us today. I'll take the numbers again. 081.
I think there's someone on the line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
I am Fagbemi from Ibadan.
Go ahead, sir.
God bless both of you.
Amen. You too.
See, I want Nigeria to not one thing. That the problem we are having is because we continue to celebrate people we know they are dissidents. When they come to power, we want to celebrate them. Even when we know they are dissidents, they are not for the people. As the last speaker rightly said, if truly, as some people claim, even though some of us know they are just saying their own, that the president have been preparing more than 20 years. Then what is happening now? How can we describe that? If anybody has been preparing, truly, when you get to that office, then you will learn that you have planned for the people just immediately. Some people will be saying 2 months, you are criticizing for 2 months. Should we wait until another 4 years again? But that is what happened during Buhari. First year, second year, we should be patient. He is a little man. The millions of lives of Nigeria were ruined. Now we have started. There should be something on ground before that subsidy was removed. That was not done. That is by the way. On the ministerial list also, we'll be saying this. A popular journalist said something yesterday that if he saw some news, in that day he will be disappointed. And here we are. We know how wicked, paraded himself with his party to make sure that he gets to this level. Not because of what he has been doing for the people. We know the antecedent of everything.
Thank you. Let's try to summarize our comments so others will be allowed to come in also. 09153029992 08107812544. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm John.
Go ahead, sir.
How my God. When Abiola put the board to Abiola campaign, as part of his campaign policy, that he was struggling to flood the country before he goes into massive planting of crops. who knows the arithmetic of politics in Nigeria, who made the known the state Nigerian party. He was in a hurry to support the one of Scotland. But it's not practicing in bringing out palliatives that we assume the state Nigerians are going through, except we are deceiving ourselves. I'm not sure there's anyone in this country today which is not feeling the heat and the pain of this wicked act of government. No better way to describe it than wickedness, because they are not, what would I call it? They are not, what do you call it now?
Thank you. I think people have a lot to say, and maybe a fault of mine since the phone lines were not opened yesterday and during the first leg. But let's try to summarize as much as possible. 08107812544 and 09153029992. While we wait for the calls, we'll take comments on the Telegram platform. Olapo Rashid says, I don't see any nakedness or any fault in Asisat's tribulation. People just have to make some point in deeds of superstars. And Steve Bond says, Agbabola and the Falcons made us proud yesterday. Like Davido's song that was played in the stadium, we were unavailable for defeat. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Hello, good morning. We can hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, man. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Government that are increasing the salaries of their workers. Because of the effect of the subsidy. Most of those people that are not civil servants, the major percentage of Nigerian population, they are not governmental workers. They are artisans, they are just traders. What is the government, what are the government, what kind of policies are they planning for these people? And these are the people that voted for them during the time of the election. I think our government needs to take quiet. And from the top, from the central government, all these ministerial or non-ministerial needs, especially as far as I'm concerned, it's none of my business. They should let us enjoy the business of democracy. Let them make life easier, better for us.
Thank you.
Anthony, you remember we've been asking that question also, that how do you want to reach out to non-government workers? Everyone is not a civil servant in Nigeria. We have business owners, we have people that are not even business owners, we have people that are just Nigerians, just managing themselves. So how do you want to reach out to every other person? You are planning to increase salaries of workers. How do you want to get something across to those who are not in your employ?
Still on the comments while we wait for the calls. Olapo Rashid says, why is Dangote refinery yet to refine any crude? I think only Dangote would answer. Maybe a new brave then, but it is offensive to people and organizations now. Perhaps some of them want to diversify their means of livelihood and leave the skit profession, the scanty few of them that are funny like that without offending anyone. And Ulushola DMO says it's fifth term since 2003. I think Mr. Fem Gbajabiamila. All right. Then King DR, he says, from the pictures posted above, age of each nominee is stated except for a few ones. And Ulushola DMO again. Good morning, house and the aunties in the house. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where you're calling from, Mr. Boma?
That's my name.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The problem Nigerian people we are facing now is the high cost of food. If we could do 6 months and 6 months, let me do the borders and let food stop in. I don't like this. During the time I pray. Let them come in another food stop, other edibles. Let them come in. Somebody cannot eat well. It's a problem.
Thank you, Mr. Boma. 08107812544. Hello, good morning.
Hello, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. It's actually permitting this kind of
Please
Go
go
ahead.
on, sir.
Yes, ma'am. By the grace of God, I am now around 50 years of age. When General Abacha was in out of 2026, I could remember when the Operation Situation program then, there was a kind of grant that was given to farmers. I was in the then. Every farmer benefited from that. Well, even my senior brother was one of the beneficiaries. During the time of Ambode, former governor of Lagos State, he gave grants to some people in the those are not government workers. And the government should consider, many businesses that wanted off because of this problem of the railway. Many families, and I know what I'm saying, being a pastor, many families could not even survive on the country again. Businesses are wanted off. And there are people concentration on their civil servants. If they are sinning against God, they should consider those who are not civil servants. They should do something. If they should give up grants, let them do something with it. To revive their own life.
Thank you. Thank you. 09153029992. 08107812544. Still taking comments based on the minister's nominees. Will there be a round peg? Hello.
Now, on the school,
Hello.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I said on cool, I mean, Niger Republic and other West African countries. I think there are two reasons for this thing. One is the terrorists, the Islamists, the example of these countries that reason why most military guys are coming to take power back from the civilian part. They cited security issues. The one you're experiencing is the same thing, the same tribe, the same, but I'm not going there. But that's what it is. The second is about the economy of those countries. This thing, the economy is going down. See, I know that one of Guinea. I read something about Guinea yesterday, and I read about how the economy just dropped in the last 5 years. So these military guys have that reason of taking over power from this country. If they are those, if the government, if they are those, the democratically elected president has performed very well, these people have had any chance of taking over. So that's what it is. So thank you.
Thank you. 08107812544. 09153029992. The question that was asked on the platform, based on the minister's nominees, will there be a round peg in the round hole? Based on their profiles, most are financial expertise and law expertise. Am I pronouncing that right?
Law
Experts.
I can't say. Expertise.
Okay, I pronounced it right. It just didn't seem right in my ear.
Expertise.
All right. Okay, so let's just talk on the coup while we wait for calls. Soldiers in the West African country of Niger announced the coup on national TV. They said they dissolved the constitution, suspended all institutions, and closed the nation's borders. The soldiers said all institutions in the country will be suspended, borders will be closed, and a curfew imposed until further notice from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. I was surprised that coups are still happening, sincerely. I learned of coups when I was in primary school and then also more in secondary school. So growing up as an adult or as an adult, finding out that there are coups still happening or people still planning coups, I'm always just still surprised. What do you think of this coup happening in Niger? Is it going to have an effect on us as a neighboring country?
I don't see the effect. I think Nigerians we are determined. I think Nigerians are determined in our desire for our democracy to grow. Honestly, I believe we are. And, the military has been saying it also that there is no plan to overthrow any government in Nigeria, and there is nothing like that. There's no plan. There's no cover to. So it's I don't see it happening. I don't see the effect on Nigeria as a country. But I think there's probably going to be a role for Nigeria to play as a big brother, and the fact that our president is the chairman of ECOWAS right now. So there will be that role for Nigeria to play, and the role will just be to continue to call for a return to democracy. And honestly, you you don't want to, like our last caller said, you don't want to blame these people. Uh, People are pushed to the wall. Remember what happened in Sri Lanka recently when the people went up against their, I think it was the prime minister, not the president, I think prime minister. He had to leave. He had to run away. See, we have different ways of protesting. We have different ways of registering our anger and displeasure. Even Nigerians, we do. It's just that we are not that violent about it. We are somehow very civil. When you see people who are hot-headed and angry, then you are going to see some Nigerians that will be calming them down. You're going to see some peace lovers that will just be talking to them, trying to explain. Yes, and again, you look on the other side, some people are catching cruise with everything, different memes, comics, and you will see them, you will just laugh. And you forget that there's no soup in your pot. Momentarily. You understand? You forget that you are probably going to trek home. And even while trekking, Nigerians catch cruise. We talk, we play, we fight, so I think we have our own way of just letting these things pass. And that's why we are still here together as a country. Some people have had it up to here. They are tired. If there is a good governance, if the people are happy, I don't see why the military will take over. I don't see, because when military take over, they will come and tell you that they have taken over in the interest of the people. They will tell you that they are also looking out for the people. That's why they have decided to take government from those reckless and insensitive people that are not caring for the people. So they come there also and they start doing their own. So I think we are resolute, honestly. Nigerians are resolute in making this democracy work. It is our leaders that should think more about Nigerians and Nigeria. They should think less of themselves and their pockets. Because how do you want an average citizen to feel when one person is greater than the whole country? When someone stole so much and built house for money. I think we have a call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where you're calling from?
Morning, my sister. I'm Mr. Benefit of Liberty.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, one of your callers called this morning, Mr. Bome, was complaining of hunger. My sister, this is terrible. It's really terrible. Right from the outcome, even from last year, September, up to this outcome issue that we don't have fuel. Then before this government came, for the past 3 months now, I've been eating once in a day. Now I see how people are dying very well. I have malaria for the past 3 days now. I don't have money to buy drugs. And our president is telling us that we should be patient. I have been pretending for this job for the past 20 years. What do we expect? Where is our hope? I don't know what we are going to experience after these 4 years if we are starting like this.
Thank you. Please don't forget to turn down the volume of your radio set so that we don't have echoing. And we're still taking more calls. 08107812544 or 0915302 9992. Don't mind my voice, I'm also hungry.
You know, you are not part of the poorest of the poor.
I am part of the poor.
Okay, but not the poorest of the poor. That's a notch higher than the poorest of the poor. So the palliative is for the poorest of the poor. So you have to wait for your own. You are not. Your name is not on the list yet.
Moving on. Ukrainian authorities are investigating whether a member of parliament broke the law when he took a family holiday to the Maldives. Officials are banned from traveling abroad on holiday, while men of conscription age need special permission to leave the country. The security service opened a criminal case to assess. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Thank you so much, ladies. My name is Olisa.
Go ahead,
calling
please.
from the back door. Precisely.
Okay.
The Nigerian character is a special one. Our personality is special and different. It's not just that we care so much for democracy. We have what we call psychology that is different from that of our other African countries. That is the ability to withstand stress. We've been stressed, and the breakdown in leadership and the cumulative package of suffering has been continuous for the past 16 years. But we have a country like we have, Nigeria, that will continue to be used by the same people, by their children, see their numbers that are running for positions, and they themselves are in positions. Nigerians tolerate all this. What do you call that? You call it civilization. It's foolishness. Look at African countries where the loaf of bread increase has caused a lot of change in their country because there was a revolution. What is happening in India? And people are condemning it on some new things. They are wasting time. Nigerians will continue to be misused. It's unfortunate for some of us who are very killed already because of our children and grandchildren. It's painful, but we have no choice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
The Ukraine
yes,
story.
the Ukraine lawmaker. So he took a holiday to the Maldives, and with the war still happening and all of that.
So they are trying to establish if he broke the law.
If he did break the law, he could face up to 3 years in jail.
It's funny, but selfishness is human nature. If he was on the war front, and I think he's supposed to be, because he's a man and he's a parliamentarian. See, this is what we talk about when we say these people they do not have the interest of the people at heart. So he felt this is the right time for him to take his own family on holiday when boys younger than him, when some boys that are probably his son's age they are carrying guns. They are fighting in the war. And he felt his family deserves. When last did the president take a vacation? When last? I think he should be taken down. It should be. They should prosecute him for it. Even if he didn't break any law, on moral grounds, he should be punished for it. Who takes a vacation when your country is in war? Who takes a vacation out of the country when your country is in turmoil and you are a stakeholder in that country?
I think we've used our time very well. Maybe we can still take a call. Maybe 08107812544 or 091530299992. Okay, let me just take this comment on the platform. Steve Bond says, we hope the instability in Niger Republic won't cause an increase in influx of small arms into Nigeria. And Oshi replying, Kolako Rashid says, what then happens to Nollywood acts using law enforcement uniforms in their movies?
We said that much,
yes,
didn't we?
That they get permits.
I'm sure that they get permits, and if they don't, they should be asked to get. You can't just up and get a police vehicle, and I think they don't just go and use their police stations. There is a kind of permission that they will get, except they want to build a set. Except because we've seen that they use real stations sometimes. So there should be a kind of collaboration between Nollywood and the MPF. That is understandable, not skit makers.
All right, we've used our time judiciously today. Many thanks to everyone who has been a part of the show. Thank you for your patience and waiting for the second leg of the headlines for the TGIF edition today. My name is Tony Adioye, and thank you, Adebisi Ogunjimi, for availing yourself.
It was a pleasure.
Have a wonderful weekend and join us next week for another edition of the headlines. Thank you to our studio manager also. Have a great day.
Bye. Okay, we are finished today again. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you. I have quite a number of names here. Mr. Adebayo Apampa, Mr. Olajide Oluseun, Mr. Kayode Ojedokun, Mr. Segun M. Shuleye, Omolatu is watching. Yes, Pastor Ibuku is watching. Mr. Lade Jacob, Bami Tunji Ogunwale, Honorable Julius Akonji. Mommy Omotosho is there. Thank you everyone for watching. Honorable DK Ogujimi Eshejari. Thank you everyone. Okay, I think we will stop it now. You can go back and watch it on Facebook. I'll also post it on YouTube. Thank you.